Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is learning the way of heaven to treat patients. Simiao was born in 581. He was known as the king of herbs. He was often sick when he was a child, and his parents spent almost all wealth of the family to cure his diseases. He was very smart and liked to study. By the time he was 7, he could read more than 1,000 Chinese characters. When he was 18, he decided to become a medical doctor and help people who were sick and suffering. When he was 20 years old, he began to study Taoism and Buddhist scriptures. He began studying medicinal herbs with a master who lived in the mountains. Because he was very intelligent and studied diligently, his master taught him the true methods, which were only passed down to one chosen disciple from generation to generation. The chosen disciple had to have high morals. Before Simiao left the mountains, his master told him, "Everything in human society has been arranged. Do not easily give up your wish to save people. When you encounter hardships, do not deviate from your original mission. Success lies ahead of you." Simiao used all his master's teachings when he treated his patients. Unexpectedly, no matter what he did, not only could he not cure his patients, but as soon as he touched them, they died. He was criticized and cursed. Wherever he went, people quickly ran away as if he had a plague. Finally, he could no longer bear it and went to his master. His master said, "I know all your suffering. This is the process of tempering your will in the human world. Fortune will come when your straw sandals weigh 8 pounds." Simiao went back down the mountain and resumed treating patients. He had the same problem as before, this time remembering his master's teachings. He was not moved. He continued to work hard and did his best to treat his patients. One day, while he was collecting herbs, he came across a muddy pond. He walked around the pond for a while, but his sandals were almost worn out. He finally stepped away from the pond and sat against a large tree. He mended his broken sandals with some soft grass and then put them back on. His sandals had gradually gotten thicker and heavier because he constantly had to add grass. Suddenly, a funeral procession passed by. Simiao noted the blood dripping from the coffin. He ran over, closely examined the blood on the road, and then shouted, "Stop! The patient has not died." Simiao followed the people all the way to the cemetery. Simiao examined the pregnant woman in the coffin and took out a silver needle, accurately put it into the right acupuncture point of her body, and then strongly twisted it. After a moment, the dead body opened her eyes and cried out. "Oh!" Then suddenly a baby's cry was heard. The baby was also delivered smoothly. Thus, both the mother and baby were saved. The woman's family was so excited that it gave Simiao some silver, but he firmly refused. He only took a new pair of straw sandals. Simiao then now threw the old sandals away, and later he weighed them. They were exactly 8 pounds. The story of how one needle saved 2 lives quickly spread far and wide. From then on, the patients he treated all recovered. By the time of Emperor Xuan of later Zhou dynasty, Simiao entered the Taipei mountain and lived in seclusion. He opened sight to those close to him. In 50 years, a saint will be in power. At that time, I will help him treat patients in the world. Sure enough, 50 years later, Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty ascended the throne and summoned him to the capital. Tang Taizong sighed at his youthful appearance and said to him, Seeing you, I understand that people practicing Taoism should be respected, and those who practice Taoism can become immortal. It's true. When the poet Lu Zhaolin of Tang Dynasty was seriously ill, Sun Simiao treated him carefully. Lu lamented that everyone's lifespan was so disparate. He asked Sun Simiao, "What is the principle of famous doctors treating diseases?" Sun Simiao replied, "I heard that people who are good at talking about heaven must be based on the essence of the person. People who are good at talking about the people must be based on the principles of heaven. There are changes of 4 seasons and the movement of 5 elements, and the alternation of spring and summer. Whatever it is in operation, it rains when it's peaceful. When it's angry, it's stormy. When it condenses, it becomes frost and snow. When it's open, it becomes rainbow. This is the law of heaven and earth. Humans have 4 limbs and 5 internal organs. They wake and sleep, exhale and inhale, and the circulation keeps repeating. When these normal phenomena are lost, heat will be generated when it's hot, otherwise it will be cold. Condensation becomes a tumor, then becomes sore. Running becomes wheezing. Exhaustion becomes scorched. The illness appears on the surface, but the lesion is inside the body. The same applies to the principle of heaven and earth. Therefore, when the stars lost their normal way, the sun and moon move out of order, and comets leave their orbits. This is a serious disease of heaven and earth. A good doctor uses medicinal herbs and acupuncture to treat illnesses. A sage uses a theory of moral behavior to help the patients. Therefore, there are diseases in the human that can be cured, and there are disasters in heaven and earth can be eliminated. During the time of Kaiyuan period of Tang Dynasty, when Sun Simiao was still living in seclusion in Zhongnan Mountain, a god descended into the human world and told Sun Simiao, "The essential recipe worth 1,000 gold you wrote has great merits in helping people, but you using animals to making medicine harms too many lives. You will become a corpse-discarding immortal." In the first year of Yongchuan, Sun Simiao passed away. When his body was lifted up and put into a coffin, only the empty clothes were left. He had indeed become immortal, and people were amazed. Sun Simiao left many works for future generations. What he left to mankind is not only the method of treating diseases and saving lives, but also letting people know the relationship between the way of heaven and human body. Only by respecting the principle of heaven can people have a healthy body and good life. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.